Okay, welcome to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. I'm glad that you're able to join us. I'm glad that you are here today. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own due diligence regarding investigating into cryptocurrencies. All right, so I'm glad that you're able to join us. I want to start right here with this problem. It's very Jungle Inc. is a guy that's just been doing some great videos. He's a well-respected person in the XRP community. He's well respected. He was very inspirational to me when I started doing this, and he's one of the ones that reached out to me and said, "Just keep doing what you're doing, and you're doing great videos." I really appreciate that. So I'm in full support of whatever the XRP community wants to do about supporting Jungle Link. I think his videos were knowledgeable. They were with content. And what happened to him could happen to any of us that are trying to make this information, get the information out to the public. You know, one of the things Jungle Link always would say, man, is that the revolution will not be televised. And he's so true about what's going on. A lot of what's going on in cryptocurrency is clandestine. It's done behind the scenes. It's done behind the doors. Some guys in some room somewhere, they're the ones that's making these decisions. So Jungle Inc., man, look, you got my support. I know CKJ Crypto News is really kind of steering the support out there, and I want everybody to know that I want to support them. And if you don't know who CKJ Crypto is, you haven't been following cryptocurrency at all. In fact, I go so far as to say CKJ Crypto is crypto news, okay? And so, yeah, you want to get a hold of CKJ, go to his website, go to his page and follow along to see what the next moves that we're going to help support Jungle Link with the comeback. Jungle, I'll just say this to you, man. It's not a setback. It's a comeback, okay? It's a comeback because we got your back, so it's a comeback. All right? And I had to start with that, man, because what happened to him could happen to any of us. It's really crazy how YouTube just pulled him off. That can happen to me. With that being said, I want to move over to the next thing that I want to just get into is this right here. This article right here is about Ripple. Ripple reveals XRapid strategy. XRapid is a beast. Okay, XRapid, it's a beast. I think it's even more than what everybody thought of. I know it's just it's a sledgehammer into the banking industry. It's a sledgehammer because it just breaks rocks, it breaks chains, it breaks everything. XRapid is going to help banks break records in terms of saving. I don't think that, I mean, I think we knew in our investigation of how much we thought we knew about XRapid, but to actually see banks like PNC Bank make that move to actually use XCurrent or let me be straight here. They said that they're going to use RippleNet. And so hopefully they're going to move to XRapid. But this article came out today. Let me read a little bit of the article. It says the co-founder and executive chairman of Ripple is revealing his vision on how crypto and blockchain technology will disrupt the global payment industry. It doesn't get any bigger than that. It says the global payment industry, how they're going to disrupt not just America, not just Japan, not just China, not just India, not just Australia, not just Argentina, not just Venezuela, but the whole world. Ripple, XRapid is going to just, you know, it's a world-changing event. All right. It says at the Crypto Finance Conference in Half Moon Bay, Cali, Chris Larson said he believes payments and blockchain killer app. Let me read that again. It says at the Crypto Finance Conference in Half Moon Bay, California, Chris Larson said he believes payments are blockchain's killer app and described how Ripple will utilize XRP to power payments around the world. He says for payments which again we think are the killer app, we think that where it all starts, that's where it all starts. For payments, we think that his additional requirements. Sorry, you guys, I'm kind of fired up because there's a couple of things that's going on. I'll read that again for you. It says for payments, which again we think are the killer app, we think that That's where it all starts for payments. We think that has additional requirements. You've got to have settlement predictability. You've got to have consistent low cost. You've got to have high thought put. So, and then it goes on to say XRapid. That's a component of RippleNet that allows payment providers to lower the cost of liquidity for the global payments. So it allows, for example, a bank that's trying to send money to Mexico to use XRP as the intermediary currency. That doesn't necessarily have to hold XRP, but it's used to make things very efficient. So, I mean, you know, a lot of us kind of know what's going on here. This is a great article. You want to go back and read it. But it has this right here. And I just found out that I'm not supposed to be playing videos on YouTube. Because what happened to Jungle could happen to me. But anyway, you want to go check out Chris. This is Chris Larson, 28, at the conference. And he talks about this. He talks about XRapid and the power of it. XRapid is a power play. All right. XRapid is the power play. XCurrent was cool, but XRapid is the bomb. It's the power play. So you want to go ahead and read this article. I mean, what XRapid is going to do for banking is just going to be phenomenal. It's going to just be amazing what XRapid is going to do for banking. And so what we have noticed is that the announcement of PNC Bank really moved the needle over the last week. Let's take a look at the market. We got Bitcoin still holding a dominance at $116 billion in market cap. But it only has less than 3% volume, so it actually hasn't been moving. We have Ethereum that's at $24 billion, and it hasn't had quite the volume that XRP has. Well, XRP is holding at a $22 billion, and I remember the times that I was saying XRP only had like a $10 billion market cap. I'm glad to say today that it has $22 billion market cap, and it has a 24-hour volume that is 0.20 right now. But yesterday the volume was just incredible. It was like up like 31% volume. It's just had Ripple has just had an incredible last few days. And because mainly I believe it's because of PNC Bank making it going public, saying that they're using RippleNet. And that brings me to this right here. A lot of people that are watching me, I think a lot of people are new and haven't watched some of my previous videos. And they don't know that I actually follow the IMF, the Central Bank, World Bank, the commercial banking, and then payment providers. Now, real briefly, I put this together because there were some comments on my page about about banking. And I think there was some people are confused. And I just kind of want to help you out and give you some good information. PSPs are not banks. PSPs are payment service providers. And a payment service provider offers shops online services for accepting electronic payments by a variety of payment methods, including credit cards, banking, bank-based payments such as a direct debit, bank transfers, and real-time bank transfers based on online banking. All right, so here's some PSPs. American Express hands out a card. It's a PSP. MasterCard hands out a card. It's a PSP. Western Union, you can get a Western Union card. It's a PSP. Discover Card, WorldPay, PayPal. Here's a whole list of PSPs. And PSPs are not banks. All they are payment providers. So all of these guys definitely need to use Ripple.net. All of these guys, all payment providers, they all actually need to be on RippleNet because that's what it actually does. Ripple is settlement. That's all payment PSPs do. It's just make payments and they settle. And so that's this is a real core part of Ripple's business, a software business, and it fits the mold perfectly for something like this. But then there's the next level of the movement of money. And the next level of movement money is commercial banks. And these are the top 10 commercial banks in the United States of America. Now listen, a commercial bank is an institution that provides services such as accepting deposits, taking your money, providing business loans if you have a business and you want a loan, and offering basic investment products like IRAs and like CDs and that type of thing. It says the main function of a commercial bank is to accept your paycheck and deposit your paycheck, which is you're a public person, and the purpose of you lending you some money because you've been depositing your paycheck and so you could borrow some money. That's the purpose of a commercial bank. A commercial bank does not create money. Okay? Commercial banks are not even much different from payment service providers. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is these are the top 10 banks, commercial banks in the United States. PNC Bank already said that they're using RippleNet. They made that public, and if you notice, when they made that public, that moved the needle. Once they made that public the other day, that moved the needle. That gave us the bounce that we need. XRP start really moving once PNC Bank announced that they were going to use RippleNet. Now, here was the point I was making about 589. Hypothetically, if JP Morgan Chase publicly announced, like PNC did, that they're going to use RippleNet, that's $2,577 billion. If Bank of America announced publicly that they were going to use Ripple, that would be $2,144 million. I mean, $2,144 billion. And so if Citigroup did it, it'd be $1,832 billion. If Wells Fargo announced it, that would be $1,738 billion. If UC Bancorp announced it, that would be $410 billion. And we already know PNC Financial already has. They already said they're using RippleNet, and that's $3,351 billion. Now, the point I was making about 589, could you imagine if any of these top three or four, like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citigroup announced today that they were using RippleNet? Do you know that's almost, let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that would be $9 trillion, especially including the $551 billion that PNC got. So what you're talking about here is you're talking about $7 or $8 trillion that all of these companies are saying now we're going to use Ripple XRP. We're going to use Ripple.net. I'm sorry. Now, if any of those companies right here, if any of these companies announce before the end of the year, people were sending me messages talking about Bank of America is already using, or they already signed up with Ripple, and somebody told me JP Morgan already signed up. No, these banks have not made public announcements, especially Bank of America. Somebody said Bank of America is already with Ripple. Well, Bank of America has some patents that they're getting together first. And they want to charge you, it says up here, they charge fees. Bank of America is trying to get their patents first so they can charge you a service fee when you use them with the digital currency. So they got to do that first. They got to set up their fees first. So clearly, Bank of America has not made public that they're using RippleNet. Wells Fargo has not made public that they're using RippleNet. Somebody else said Capital One. I saw some rumors about that. I pulled some information about Capital One today. There's rumors, but there's nothing that's been solidified. There's nothing that's public that I'm aware of. Because if that information was made public, what happened when PNC Bank announced that they were going to use RippleNet, the needle would keep going, and you would see the results of that, especially in the cost and the price of the token. It would shoot. It would go to the moon. If $10 trillion right here, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, UC Bancorp, and PNC Financial, if those 3 or 4 of those banks, those commercial banks come out publicly and said, yep, we're going to RippleNet, that would blow Ripple out the water. And that's going to happen maybe eventually, but it hasn't happened yet. And I would rather it happen incrementally than just a big power play like that. All right. And then in terms of banking, so I explained to you already what a PSP is. I've explained to you what a commercial bank is. And now let me explain to you the difference between a commercial bank and a central bank. A central bank, they print up the fiat currency. You catch that? A central bank, a reserve bank. What's the name of the central bank in the United States? It's the Federal Reserve Bank. That's what it's called first, a reserve bank. So a central bank, reserve bank of the monetary authority and the institution of managers and state currency. They manage and the currency, money supply, and interest rates. That's extremely important. That's why that's in black there. And interest rates. And I put this in parentheses. They print up fiat currency. Central banks also usually oversee the commercial banking system for their respective countries. So central banks are all over the world, but they're not like commercial banks. They're different. I think commercial banks right now are where the power play is for Ripple. And that's going to be very important. Like I said, let 3 or 4 more of these top 10 commercial banks in the United States. And like we already had saw that Ripple had made was going to be working with the Saudi bank. And we saw that already. That didn't move the needle like the PNC banking using Ripple Net Information did. When the PNC bank said, because that's $351 billion U.S. currency in the United States. So if anything else happens like that, you're going to see plus 589 at the end of the year. Absolutely. But anyway, back to printing up money. Then you got the central banks, then you got the World Bank, then you got the International Monetary Fund, and they do different things. I don't want to waste my time right now going into what they do. I'm well aware of the IMF and the SDRs, the special drawing rights and all that kind of thing, and what the World Bank is trying to do in terms of a digital asset. They're struggling. Christine Lagarde and Jerome Powell of the Feds, they're struggling, trying to figure out how to handle this digital currency asset. So this is something I can go on about. Just trying to help you out. Those of you that left some comments, you got to understand that there's a difference between a PSP. There's a difference between a commercial bank and a commercial bank publicly claiming that they're going to use RippleNet. Bank of America has not publicly claimed that. Wells Fargo has not publicly claimed that. JP Morgan Chase has not publicly claimed that. And when Brad Garlinghouse says that he's signing up banks, 100 banks, he's not talking about 100 commercial banks in the United States. He's not talking about that. He's talking about all over the world that they're signing up banks. And they're signing up also payment providers, PSPs. But when you talk about the top 10 commercial banks in the United States, you're talking about trillions of dollars. All right. And so just by virtue of the amount of money, that would reflect in the cost of XRP. All right. All right. Well, now with that being said, I want to kind of conclude with my friend, go back over to my Twitter page. You have got to, and by the way, please follow me on Twitter, and please subscribe to Crypto News and Investigate. I always forget to say this. Please subscribe to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell so you can know when we're putting up another video. And we are at Crypto News and Investigative Reports on Twitter at RobTech, ROBTECH, RobTech P. Please follow us on Twitter, and I try to tweet out before all of the articles before I do the video. So if you miss what I'm talking about here, you can go to my Twitter page and see some of the articles that I'm talking about. I wish I had time to go into Wells Fargo closing up 900 branches by 2020. Y'all remember that? Wells Fargo, as it books a $3.25 billion fourth quarter pre-tax charge related to misleading that scandal. Wells Fargo says it plans to make savings by closing around 900 branches by 2020. And what they're trying to do is get ready to start charging you to use a digital asset too. But I wish I had time to break into that one. But what I want you to do, guys, is, all right here. It ain't coming up. What in the world? All right, actually, I did it right here. LoveforCrypto. I just spent 2 hours. There it is. Here it is, LoveforCrypto. I just spent a couple of hours watching my friend's LoveforCrypto video. If you have not seen that, that's kind of what's got me really rolling, because I spent 2 hours watching his video. That is the best video I have seen all year regarding the story behind the story. Now, I'm like I said, I'm elephant glad and hippopotamus happy about Ripple XRP going to the moon. I'm glad about that. I'm glad about XVIA, XCurrent, XRapid, XSpring. I'm distributed ledger protocol. I'm excited about all of that. That's an awesome thing, and I'm really glad that that's happening. But there is a story behind the story. There's two stories that's running together. It's the cryptocurrency revolution, and then the predicted coming crisis. And I did a video about that. A predicted financial crisis greater than the one in 2008. Those stories are running parallel. You have got to take some time and watch this video from LoveforCrypto. LoveforCrypto has an awesome video that you all need to really watch. And it's called The Master Plan. Get ready for a one world currency. I mean, this guy has broke out. He's taken the information. It's full research. He's got clips, and then he's got some revealed revelation about David Schwartz that I didn't know. And I'm really, it's just a real, I can't talk enough about it. I just watched it. I just put my 2 hours and 42 minutes and 53 seconds down and watched this whole video. Hey, shout out to LoveforCrypto. Man, that is a dynamite video. It's a documentary. It should be on the big screen. It should be on somebody's national channel. Hey man, proud of you, my brother. That's an awesome video, and I want to tell everybody to make sure you go on YouTube and watch The Master Plan. Get ready for a one world currency, because that is the story behind the story. You know, get you some popcorn, get you some peanuts, and grab you a Coke and sit down and watch this video. All right, that's it. Until the next time, guys, wherever you are, have a great weekend. You know, sit back, relax, and have a great weekend, all right? And then we'll see you again, and we'll let you know as soon as we get more information. We will bring that information to you. And like my friend Jungle says, the revolution will be televised or will not be televised.